Hello everybody, welcome back. This is Bali Kehal. I'm your instructor for CH Labs. We are in lab number 2 and this lab is actually about people search, right? People search. So what is people search and why do you need to know about it as an ethical hacker? So basically what happens is in the security field, when you are a security analyst, when you are working as a CEH specialist or even a pen tester, you need to understand that at any given point of time you could have the requirement to check or do a background check or do some kind of a checkup on a person or an individual or on a company. And this could be because of you're trying to conduct a penetration test, or it could be because you are trying to get more information about a particular individual. It could be because you're suspicious and have been told to do a kind of a reconnaissance on somebody and see if they're valid or not, authentic or not. And this could be need for management also. And as a security specialist, as being part of the security team or the IT security team of a company, this is what your job is, and this is how you can help the company also, right? So now let's look at people search itself, and let's first start with the different tools which you can use for people search. Okay. My favorite one down here is people, PIPL.com. So it's not PEOPLE, right? So it's PIPL.com, PIPL.com. And this tool is a fantastic tool when you want to get information about an individual. It does have a professional component to it, where you can see it has a people data API. It also lets you download a lot of stuff. In this case, it's giving an example how it's basically getting information from their social graph and so forth. It's a quick setup tool. It has got cross language compatibility. You can quickly use your API and their search API, request API. It looks like a web API, a web server API, and then you can basically get information around everything. So you can try a live demo. Basically, you can put in some information, and it'll get you that person's details back. And this details, then those can be used in any way or form that you want. And this is a demo. I would not go through all of these. You can go and skim through the different aspects if you want to look at from a business perspective. But for an individual perspective, I think so I will just stick to the basic search which it offers, right? So let's search first to start with. Let's search on I want to actually keep my searches limited to famous people, celebrities, and I will just click on the first result which comes back, because the goal here is not to search on a particular person. The goal here is to showcase the tools to you. So just remember the underlying goal here, right? So let me search on Hillary Clinton. So Hillary Clinton, since this is a election year going on, so you will find different profiles, of course. Since it's election 26 is election year, Hillary Clinton is a strong candidate for president election, and the first woman candidate if she succeeds, being and she will create a legacy. But yeah, the key thing out here to notice is, let's click on the first profile which comes up, right? And it basically gets you blogs, criminal records, court records, marriage records, everything. It goes in and searches for everything. So this person doesn't look like Hillary Clinton, but I just clicked on a first profile to show you what all details of information you can get back from a people social search, using a simple tool like People. It's an web-based tool, and it's free. So you can get candidate information, where all they worked and jobs which they did. So you can get education information, what universities they went to, additional names they have. So in the additional information, it gives you more details around the schools, the year they graduated, and so forth. Also in the additional names, you can get, if they're using any secondary names, if they change their last name because of marriage or any other reason, they change their first name. It won't tell you the reason, just to let you know. You have to use some other tools for that. But also then any aliases which they are using for their Facebook, Twitter, and so forth. So all these, and then places, places where they have lived, or where they have been, or where they have property at and under their name. So all those places get listed down here, even if they're rented. So that information also you can pull up from here. Also associated with, these are the people, the name of other people who they are associated with. This could be their family, relatives, members, children, grandparents, parents, anything, friends. So these people there's a relation graph with them, right? And then of course there's other social media related links, their Facebook, their LinkedIn, and so forth. Also we have, with similar, the related people, you can find their information down below, and which is pretty nifty, I would say, right? And this we did one was on Hillary Clinton. Let's do a quick one again on another celebrity. Let's pick up Natalie Portman, right? Natalie Portman, those of you don't know, is another star, and she is basically also pretty intelligent. She's I think she's gone to Harvard and studied. She's one of the intelligent people or intelligent stars, I would say. So it basically is going through profile, criminal records, public records, blogs. It's doing all that search for you, right? And in return, it'll basically get you all this information. It'll siphon everything. It should not take that long. Let me just pause and reset it so that just a second, please. All right, so we're back. So Natalie Portman. So here you can see we have Natalie's profile. We just came back, and let's click on this second profile, or let's do the first one. And what all information you get down here is a lot of celebrities, they don't show their information out in public, and this is like somebody else looks like. But I want to just skim through it. This person that has their career information listed, this education, where they went to Columbia University in city of New York, looks like that. And there's a phone number listed down here, additional names which this person are associated with, not associated with, but they have used, and this could be their names which people have given them, nicknames they have kept, aliases, and so forth. Places where they have lived or been at, and you can actually click on Golden, Colorado, and it'll give you exactly where their location is, right? And you can drill down into it if you want. But then associated with other people who they're associated with, their social graph, LinkedIn, Facebook, beanverified.com, and 10 digits, People Finder, Spokeo, Yellow Pages, address.com, everything. So now you understand what is the power of this tool, right? So it can get you a lot of information which you would not think of otherwise, right? You can just search on a name, and I'm using celebrity names just to search on, so it's easy. And then you can get a lot of information about those people, right? Let's do one more search here since it's pretty interesting. And let me use another tool actually for this. Another favorite tool of mine is 411.com, right? So in 411, let's search for Ashton. And this is again a celebrity I'm searching for, Ashton Kutcher, ASHTON, and KUTCHER. Okay, I got the name right. So this will basically bring back people with a similar name and listed on a different website. So I'm actually this website. Let me give you a little bit background on this website, 411. I don't know if it's this website, but it's the same service or not. But back in the days, like in 1998, 2000, 2001, 2000 till 2005, I think so, till Google Maps and Google services became very prevalent, and Bing took over, and they kind of made good progress in their search and find area. A lot of people used to use 411, and 411 used to be a dialing service which you could dial from your mobile phone, the old ones, and then somebody would, a voice, a physical operator, a person would basically pick up and then you could ask them for a location. That hey, there was a charge, I think, so your phone company would charge you, and this was a finder service. That I'm at so and so place. I want to get here. I want to get there. Can you find me this, find me that. So this service used to help you basically get onto that kind of information. And spinned off from there is this 411.com, which basically lets you find other information also. And basically very very nifty, very handy. And you can search for people. You can understand. Let's click on one of these reports, right, and let's see what all. Well, this is kind of doing it's gone to premium services. I don't want premium services. So I think these first one are white pages premium services. It looks like it's little. I just want a regular 411. Okay, there you go. So now here, when you look at it, all right. So now this gives you good information about the particular person, the address of the person. It tells you people this person is associated with. It tells you different birth records, background records, bankruptcy records, if any, driving records, court records, death record, marriage, divorce records, everything, right? So this is pretty powerful that way, right? And this one which we had clicked accidentally or was highlighted. So this is a whitepages.com, but a premium service of whitepages.com, where it will give you more information about it. Again, you have to subscribe for this. So you got to make sure that you subscribe for it, and you got to make sure that you get information which you need if you are basically doing a subscription based model down there, right? Another thing, I'm just going to kill this search because it's going to take time. So since let me fire up Chrome again, so we can get back to where we were. So now we are doing people search. We did pipl.com. I showed you about 411. Now let's look at social graphs. What are the different social graphs of people, and how do you get to? So let's search for another celebrity, Cindy Crawford, right? So Cindy Crawford, Cindy, Cindy Crawford. So Cindy Crawford again is a model actress, a model, and she's a supermodel actually. And so let's look at her, and I want to actually take her social graph and show you a few things interesting about social graph, right? I want to open her Twitter and I want to open her Facebook in two different tabs. So now first is Twitter, right? So let's look at her Twitter. So this is Cindy Crawford's Twitter, and a few things I want you to notice down here is right below the picture there is a verified account. So there is a verified account, and what does this mean? So let's click on this verified account link. This basically is authenticating and is vouching. The Twitter as the company is vouching that this is an authentic profile. So what does it mean? An account with a blue verified badge on Twitter profile is a verified account. Also, why does Twitter verify accounts? The verification is currently used to establish authenticity of identities of key individuals and brands on Twitter. So if you look at this, I mean, this is like a very good sign if a company who you want to work with, if an individual has a blue verified badge in Twitter, right? So now let's look at the equivalent of this in Facebook. So what Facebook does is it has this verified page. It has a blue tick mark on Facebook, which basically is authentic verification of a particular individual. In this case, we went and searched for Cindy Crawford. So why is it important, right? Why is this verified important? Suppose you are part of a penetration testing team as an ethical hacker, and now you are working with a company who's been under attack, and you want to know who the culprit is, right? So a lot of these perpetrators, what they do is they form very fishy, illegal profiles, and they would pretend as something which they are not. So they would somebody would reach out to you and say, hey, I am a CEO, or I'm a VP of XYZ company, and this is my profile, this is my card, everything looks very legit, right? But when you look into it, there is some signs out there. His profile was built a couple of days ago with 1,000 entries in it. You can pay people to do that. And then it has a copy of everything. So you need to make sure that whoever you deal with, they want to sign a contract with you for their company for X amount of dollars. So you want to make sure that those people are authentic, right? So this is a few places which you can check. And as a social engineering technique also, it is important to be on the other side, because now you're playing an hacker. You're basically a gray hat hacker. You're trying to get to the information and do penetration testing, and you are getting into a network, using people as tool, as your mechanism to infiltrate. So you need to understand that why and how a verified badge is achieved and why it is important, right? Another powerful tool which we all use all the time, most of the time, and if you're not, then you should be, is basically LinkedIn, right? So LinkedIn is pretty powerful. Let's search for a few things on LinkedIn. Let's search for Bill Gates LinkedIn profile, right? So Bill Gates LinkedIn. Okay, so I really love the autocomplete of Google. But here you go. So Bill Gates, it's got an influencer badge given by Twitter, and if you click on it, and it'll tell you what exactly does this badge mean. And these are the main influencers when it comes influencers when it comes down to LinkedIn. I can't say it today, but yeah, Richard Branson, Bill Gates, and so forth, right? So you get the idea, and these people actually these are linked to their authentic profiles, right? There are some channels out there, publishers. So all of these, they get special attention by LinkedIn, and they are being placed in a special category, right? The pulse. People follow them. People want to know about them. People talk about them. So that's what it is. So now coming back to it. So this is how a profile looks like. And what you need to know is, I'm not logged in, but you'll get more details. But there are a couple of things with profile. Basically, it'll give you a lot of information about a person, their company which they work for, education, if they have listed all this information out. Their interests, you can build out, you can see their professional interests, and in Facebook you can see their personal interests, and build out a social graph for effective social engineering. So you can talk to that person about that particular things, and they will respond to it. Even if you say that, hey, you see where the person is hanging out, either at a coffee shop or at a bar, strike a conversation and talk about philanthropy, or talk about certain traveling or eradication strategies, talk about tennis as a sport, bridge. So they would think that you are kind of same and similar to them, and because their interests match, and they know about this stuff, they won't feel awkward, and they will start sharing their experiences. And soon you'll be trying to get a password out of them to get into their network as a penetration tester, and that's how it works. So this is basic things which you need to understand, and especially when it comes down to searching people online. So now let's search. Let's see how does a company's profile look online, right? So let me actually just see if I can just type in directly Microsoft as a company name and get give me for I'm sure there is a URL which pattern which they follow, but I'll just replace Bill Gates with Microsoft, right? Microsoft, and then I'm putting LinkedIn. So I'm trying to go to a company's profile basically, and if you got a company's profile micro.soft or micro_soft, definitely it's not Microsoft, right? You have to make sure that they have the URL to that particular domain, the authentic URL, because all these big companies, they need a proper URL, right? So you can see these are the different VPs at this company. You can also see you can see other information. There is a company detail, the specialties area. Then there's websites, industry, which they fall under, type, founder, date, and all that stuff, right? So all this is very critical when you're trying to search for companies, try to see if it's a legit company, try to make a social graph of a company, and also try to work around it. So now another thing which you need to also know is when it comes down to people search, let's do another Google people search. And let's look at some of the key tools which are there, right? So there is a tool called Anywho, right? So we'll just do a quick search on this tool, using this tool, an online website tool. Then I think so Intellius has a tool, people search now. I'm just picking up any like first 2-3 tool searches which are out there. So just getting you familiar with how these tools work. This is basically reverse engineer. You can type in a phone, you can type in a first name, last name. Here you can type in first name, last name, city. I mean, if I know Bill Gates, and I know he's in Washington for sure, and let's just try Redmond for him. I know he doesn't live in Redmond. He lives on the island, but so. Well, yeah, you get some hits back, right? And usually, like, these hits are pretty close and pretty accurate, right? And this is how you basically start. Let's look at the first profile, whatever it is, right? And this basically tells you, well, this is a paid service. It wants my money now. So I like people that way. It lets you like search through people. Let's do another Judy Foster, and let's see if people smart is smart enough to give us lots of information about a person. Well, I spelled it wrong. It's a Jodie, not EI. But anyhow, somebody, I'm sure it'll get something back. Well, again, so it wants more information. It's not, it's not letting me go in and get the information as people did. But you get an idea, like, how all of these tools work, right? And what all does it go through to find, let's do Donald Trump for that matter. DONALD, last name Trump, TRUMP, and I'm not sure, I think it's in Florida somewhere, but his address listed, but yeah, so here we get something. So he's not Donald E. Trump, he's Donald J. Trump, because Donald John Trump. So I'm not getting any direct hit, but yeah, there's no Donald J. Trump here. But let's look at the first person. I'm sure this person is getting a lot of popularity right now in US because his name kind of matches a celebrity. But this is what it is. So you get a lot of information. These are the yellow pages. You can use yellow pages. You can use other services out there. But people search is something which I wanted to get you familiar with, get you a little bit more acquainted with, so that you can use it openly and choose the right tool. I've got you familiar with Crunchbase. I got you familiar with LinkedIn. I got you familiar with People. 411. So these are some cool tools which you can just simply open up and start getting people's information. Other tools which are out there, which are in the market, which you should know about, which are paid ones also, are Yellow Pages, premium services. Again, People has premium services. So you can, if you want to go one step further, then you can do that also. All right. I hope you enjoyed the lab. I will see you in the next lab, and thank you for joining. Okay. Bye-bye.